Hello everybody, Scarlet Pete, Self-Sufficiency here, and Lily, and the dogs, and Rodney the pony, the horse. Oi, your mother's not got any milk for you anymore. Are you going to be a nuisance now? Oh, he's just going to be a pain in the backside. Rodney, stop being a, what they'd say on, what was the programme it was on, Only Fools and Horses? What would Del Boy say? So we're cutting hooves. Oh, Rodney. We're cutting hooves, aren't we, Lil?
Yes.
Get on with it then, ignore
meant to be Spooky Warm Blood is currently in a small box of a washing machine.
Will you get out of the washing machine? Come on, Rodney, get out of there.
He's playing with it. He's going to tip that over in a minute.
Rodney, get out of there.
There's batteries on here.
Stop being a fool, Rodney. Can you go away now, please? Go in the milking parlour, try and milk a cow. Oh dear, the things that go on here. The animals are always in the middle of everything we're trying to do. As you can see here, the dogs are in the middle of it all. And the horse, the pony, is getting a pedicure. Look, she's ever so big. Can you see the baby? There's a nice baby in there. It's my baby, isn't it? We're going to work the fields with that pony in there. Lily's doing an impression of the farrier.
An impression. I am a farrier.
At this moment you seem to be.
Yeah. I've done his feet and now I'm doing her feet.
She's just not strong enough. She's not got the grip. Get a grip, girl. Get a grip.
The hoof is too long for the hoof nippers. It's getting stuck.
Oh, excuses, excuses. Blaming other things rather than herself. Just the dogs won't go away. We have asked them just to go away. And they want to hang out and see what's happening. And the pony doesn't mind, so...
and lick hoof nippings.
Yeah, they're pinching the hoof nippings. Because hoof nippings are an old-fashioned wormer. A very old farrier, 25 years ago, told me that is the best wormer you can give your dogs. So the dogs obviously know that he's right, because they're hanging out waiting for it. They all get a piece each. I think we need to sharpen that, don't you? Rodney?
Yeah.
Don't knock the beehives over. Please, Rodney, don't do it. So while we've got Lily chopping feet here, why do we do it? Because we need to make sure there's no thistles and nails or anything that shouldn't be in the frog. We need to keep the frog nice and clean so we don't have any infections or thrush in it. And if we don't chop the hoof wall down nicely, we end up with it breaking off naturally in the field, and then it can do more damage and rip uphill, like ripping your nail backwards. So this is just a controlled way of keeping the hoof under control, keeping the horse sound and comfortable. And also ponies in the wild would be in the mountains, climbing up rocks and keeping their feet nicely cut down themselves. But when they're on a nice lush grass pasture, Lucky, stand still. Yes, you, Lucky. Then the grass prevents it from being broken off easily, and we need to help the horse. This is the way it is needing to be done. Oh, look, she's done a lovely job there, cutting that off. And the dog's just waiting for it to drop into the dog's mouth. Let's have a look. So that is... Oh, steady. That is one nicely trimmed foot.
Yeah, but here it needs cutting a bit more because it's too long.
And we give the foot back when she stops swinging around with it and reward her for being a good girl. Bella gets first option on the anti-worm device. She says, I'm off, bye. And the pony gets a little break in between. So she's had one foot trimmed. We're going to use what tools today? Show them what we've got, Lil. We've got a hoof nipper. And we've had a paring knife there. Paring knife on the right. We have a hoof pick in the middle there. So we picked out and cleaned the feet firstly to see what we've got. Check for any soft bits. We have a nice hoof rasp there. That will be like a nail file, but it's much tougher than normal nail files because it takes a lot off the horse quickly. And as Lily says, we've got a smashed phone. Don't have your phone in your pocket when you're dragging along. Who did it to you? Was it the cow?
No, Rodney.
Rodney.
I was long reining him, he spooked. I fell forward and it hit on my hip because it was here.
Yeah.
I
So
fell on my hip on the phone.
Mommy's got to get her a new phone. Rodney, have you been in the shed? Will you get out of the shed? So this is the madness that goes on. Oh, we're doing some rasping. Do you want to see that? Let's have a look.
Yeah.
So we're just filing the bottom of the foot so there's no ragged bits that can rip off, or that she could accidentally cut herself with if she went to scratch her face, her belly, kick herself, or kick another horse.
Yeah.
Just making sure it's all nicely levelled up. And who taught you to do this, Lil?
My lovely mummy.
Oh, your lovely mother. Is she quite talented, your mum, then?
Very talented.
Oh,
She's quite big-headed as well.
oh, tell me more, tell me more. I'm her mom, just in case you wondered. So this is something we've become self-sufficient in, and it's not something we wanted to be self-sufficient in. We'd much prefer a farrier to come along and do it, but 10 years later we're still waiting for the first farrier to keep his promises, the second farrier, the third farrier, and the fourth farrier that said they were definitely coming, like the next Tuesday, the next Wednesday, and the next Thursday.
And most of them do a terrible job anyway.
Most of them do. So most people around here do it themselves. And I think Lily does quite a good job. The pony is nice and comfortable with it.
Yes, and I'm someone that she knows.
Yeah, she respects you and she does as she's told and stands still most of the time, unless Rodney's trying to distract her and steal milk from her when she's not got any milk for him. So how far along are we in the pregnancy, madam?
She's got 2 months left.
Yay, 2 months left. And the daddy is a Noric from Austria. He was a rescue stallion. He was skin and bone when he was imported from Austria to this country. Excuse the chickens. And he was brought back to good health. And Lucky is a Hutzel, or a Carpathian from the Carpathian range of mountains in Eastern Europe, and they're a very rare breed. And this is our cat, just wisely watching the world go by. And because she's heavily pregnant, look at her chestnut, look at that, that's her thumb.
All they need doing?
I would snip those off, yeah.
Out there?
Yeah. Good girl.
These ones always naturally do themselves.
Yeah,
I never
that
need to
one,
bother with them.
My horse, I always used to have to peel that off. Because she's so heavily pregnant, we have to give her a few more breaks in between and just understand, because, you know, ligaments hurt and stretch. We get aches and pains, and the baby could be lying in an uncomfortable place. So we have to make allowances, but don't let her take too much of an advantage of it. Will you shut up? Uh-oh, Rodney's back. And Rodney's gone. So what Lily's doing now is just making a beveled edge, and just nice and smooth, so it will be a rolled edge, so it will roll over nicely.
And there's a bit of a point here. So
Yeah, getting rid of any nasty, jaggedy, pointy bits. This is Laser. Then that one is Hello Aveline. Billy. Can we guess what series they were named from? Answers in the comments below. Billy and Aveline. And we've got Sissy. And we've got Bella. Yeah, that's you. Bella's enjoying her hoof nippings.
yeah, and then guess what Rodney's name's from?
Rodney could not be named from a certain 80s program, and Rodney was all being told, don't be a plonker, Rodney, and his brother was Del Boy. Answers below if you know what we're on about.
If we have a colt, we're going to have to name it Del Boy.
Del Boy, yeah, I think that might be a good idea. I hadn't thought of any names. Oh, so that means the female, if it's a female in that belly there, it could be Cassandra, or what's the other woman in there?
Raquel.
Raquel. I like Raquel.
Yeah, but I thought we were naming her Ethel.
Yeah, I did like the name Ethel, but it doesn't connect with that programme, does it? We won't say the name of the programme because people are going to put it in the comments what we're on about. Rodney? Rodney, can you move, please?
Right.
Oh, there! And Rodney was always smoking marijuana, as in lots of grass. And what does Rodney spend his day doing here? Eating grass. Oh, it connects so well. Rodney, she's going to kick you.
Rodney was also a ginger-haired, daft but heart of gold person.
Why did Rodney have ginger hair in the programme?
It looked a bit like it, but it was mostly blonde.
Oh. Rodney,
And
go
always
away.
trying to get his way with the women too.
Yeah, Rodney's had his bits cut off because Rodney is not allowed to have his way with women anymore.
Oh.
Poor Rodney. Move along, Rodney. Come on. Move on. The old girl there's resting her back. Whoa, you can see how big that foal is now, look.
I've not seen it kicked yet.
I was watching her belly rippling earlier. So we should just carry on nipping the feet and making them look pretty. Have you got anything else to tell people about hoof cutting and trimming, Lil, that you've learnt or advice?
So it will naturally empty out itself. It won't get mud and stuff stuck in there and go rotten. If it's cut naturally and lots of spaces.
And what have you just learned that happens in spring to the bottom of the foot?
Why not learn that recently?
Well, we spoke about it. What happens naturally in spring that you do know then that you've learnt?
The frog drops out.
The frog sort of self-destructs and sheds. And what happens to the sole of the foot as well?
It sheds as well.
Yeah, the whole sole can sometimes just like peel off in one go, which can look a bit scary, but that's a normal springtime occurrence. And what else about wintertime? What is the use of the frog? Do we remember?
Stop them from slipping on the ice and snow.
Exactly, but there's another point to having a frog on a horse. Do you know what it is?
They're pumping the blood around.
It certainly is. It pumps the blood and the circulation in the bottom of the foot. So it really is good practice to leave a lot of the frog down on the floor. So going natural and having natural non-horse shod feet, no metal shoes on, will leave the frog in contact with the ground. Therefore it will pump naturally and energize and oxygenate the hoof and keep the hoof in good shape. And another thing about horses, stabling or grass, think about your horse's feet. If it is stuck in a stable 22 hours a day, those feet need to be exercised because they need to move, and then they become oxygenated and they become healthy feet. So if you've got a horse with poor feet that are cracking up, yes, I know when they walk...
Let's get a close-up of my normal.
I'll get a close-up of her feet in a minute. It does seem counterintuitive to let them walk around in the field and snap their feet off, the hooves off, because they're brittle, but leaving them in the stable will make those feet brittle, won't they? Because they're standing in ammonia and they're not getting the stimulation or the circulation boost to the feet. There's a little rant of mine just happened, hasn't it, Lil? Did I rant? Sorry, viewers, I ranted.
That was an educational.
Oh, it's an educational rant. Can I say a lot more of my rants are all educational? Lily wants to show her foot. Oh, I could rant a bit more if you want. There we go, the feet.
What do you think?
Let's have a look. Is she going to move her foot? Yeah, that looks nicely shaped. You want to make sure you carry on... thank you. You want to make sure you carry on the shape from going downhill. You don't want the foot to suddenly go blunt down at a different angle. You want to carry it down, which we're doing quite nicely there. The front feet are yet to be done.
And you can see they're flaring out as well.
They splay out at the bottoms, yes. That is a natural thing to happen when they are long. But remember, farriers did not exist in the wild, so the horse's feet will often self-manage if you have a hardy breed. But if you have something that's been messed with, like a very highly bred horse, thoroughbreds. I wasn't going to name any in case anyone loves their thoroughbred to bits, but I had a thoroughbred whose feet were horrendous, because sometimes people just forget to breed for strength, for handiness, hardiness, good character, basically the Hootsel pony. You know, we want to start a breeding centre of the Hootsels because they are perfect, aren't they, Lucky?
Yeah, she's enjoying a head scratch now.
That's a nice head scratch.
Yeah.
Hello, look. She likes that. Because this is the tractor of Eastern Europe in the old days, and the Hootsel is between 12 and 14 hands.
No, 13 to 14.
13 and
She's not a
14.
pure Hoosel.
Well, she is a Hootsel, but she's not the best of.
Yeah. She might have been stunted in her growth before we got her.
But she has given us a lovely foal over there. Rodney, even if he is a bit daft, we'll forgive him that. She has made a good baby.
And she's a lovely girl and taught me a lot for my first pony.
Yeah, she's a lovely girl. She's staying in the family, can you tell? We've got a lovely carriage. Can I show them the carriage? Hang on, come with me into the shed. This is what her future's going to be with me. We have a carriage. Isn't it lovely? I've got to restore this carriage. If you'd like to see the restoration and what we do with it, let us know in the comments, and maybe we should drag it out and start earlier and do some video on it. She is a fully trained carriage pony. I've got to save up some pennies and have a specially measured and made to fit her driving harness, because we can't get them to fit her. And her job will be taking around Grandma. That's me. I'm the horse's grandma, obviously. But you couldn't ask for a nicer look in that eye. A sweeter pony there is not. She is a lovely... She used to be a bit grumpy. You could tell she'd been treated harshly by people in the early days, because she would... What would you say she did?
She's a nasty eye and pin her ears, but behave because she knew she had to.
Yeah. She'd become resentful. So we just sort of loved her through that resentment.
And then I noticed her personality coming out.
Yeah.
Best friends.
That's it. Which ponies often become best friends with the world. Don't go too deep, Lil. You need some toe left on that. Don't take off too much toe. It's easy to go downhill towards the toe.
I'm just following this bit here.
Rodney's running off into the sunset. Rodney, what are you doing? If you do his recall, will he come to you now?
Probably not.
Go on, try his recall and we'll see if he listens.
Oh, wow. Good boy. There you go.
There we go. Pony recall.
Lucky knows that this is where you store the goods, and she'll open it with her nose and tip it over.
She's a naughty girl. Now you just told him where it is actually, Lil.
Yeah.
He'll be in there in a shot. Right, this video is going on too much. We're going to have to stop in a second. Rodney, don't get any ideas. Right, gang, I've got a cow to milk. Like I said, I've got a cow to milk. Haven't I, darling Jasmine? Who's a good girl. I've had a very interesting day today when a dairyman came over and helped me with some techniques for milking. So I might have to do a video on what I've learned, mightn't I? Jasmine, everybody liked the video we did about you being the criminal cow. If you've not seen that, do have a little look in my playlist and you'll see the story of her. A little bit of free work there. Liberty. Well, shall we end it by you just coming and running past me here and see if he follows nicely? Come this way, darling. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, Rodders. Take care. Lots of love. Thank you for watching. I hope you like our little rants and our madness. Woohoo! He's just met the cow. Bye, Rodders. Bye, everybody. Lots of love. Like, subscribe, comment, share, whatever you... Alright, need to say. She's having a word or two. Bye-bye. Lots of love. Bye-bye.